Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show. I am your host, Melissa P. Dunn, CEO of MD Marketing Network and founder of this Dunn Wisdom movement. Now, you know, I love to introduce you to women who are getting it done. And I particularly enjoy introducing you to women from my Women Getting It Done online Facebook community. And today I have a very, very, very special guest for you. Miss Arleen Lambert is one of the women that I believe is really changing the world, changing the landscape of an industry that all of us need. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about it, but by now you realize that this is really a recording show. We are recording it just a few minutes before it get posted, because I am right now, as you're watching this, I am putting on my Vice Mayor hat and sitting on the dais in the city of Lauderhill. But let me bring Arleen in so we can have a conversation. Good morning, Miss Arleen. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. Yes, I love the Dunn Wisdom show. I love what you do in the community, and I love that you're getting it done.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Now, Arleen, you and I met because you invited me. Is that how we met? You invited me to interview on your show, right? Is that how we met the first time?
Right. So technically, we met at the Beauty Weekend.
Yes.
I saw you.
Yes.
I was hosting the Friday night, and I saw you jumped in the Saturday. And then I told you about the women's conference, and we connected. And then you appeared on my show, my conference, and now I'm on your show today.
Oh, I love it. And then in the midst of all of that, you signed up for Lauderhill Shines and graduated with cohort 4 or cohort 3?
I'm cohort 3.
Cohort 3. Okay, the mighty 3. So Arleen, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been a family childcare professional for the past 20 years. I hanged my license up this year, and believe me, taking down all my sign-in sheets and the children file brought a couple of tears to my eyes. However, I do believe when it comes to early education, my platform right now is to actually educate childcare professionals as well as to support the field in a very professional way. Because as we all know, early education is paramount to our society, to us growing as a community and as a nation. However, we have our struggles, which is that we're lowly paid. We don't have sufficient teachers coming into the field, and we have those teachers that are exiting the field. So we want to bring in fresh individuals who understand the concept of what early education is and the importance of early education as well. And I want to take this opportunity to just say hi to my family home childcare professionals and FFCCHA.
All right. So what does FFCHA stand for?
FFCCHA stands for Florida Family Home Childcare Association. And it's been a state association that have been around for more than 20 years that supports and cultivate and create really great childcare professionals that goes out, and we're broad from as far as Tallahassee all the way down to the Keys.
Wow. And you're, if memory serves me right, you're the vice president or the president?
I'm the vice president of the association.
The vice president of the association. Yes, all right. Yes. I love it. And then you're CEO of WEWFF. What does that stand for?
Okay, so that's the Woman Empowering Women for Excellence. So the Woman Empowering Women for Excellence started based on what I've been seeing occurring in early education. I felt like, we as women need that support as entrepreneurs. And as entrepreneurs, we need the resources, we need strategies. And in that moment, I created a conference and a program that support women in 4 connecting ways, which is financial literacy, health and wellness, leadership, and self-awareness. I think those 4 components is what creates us to be the better version of ourselves holistically.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Yes. Ladies, if you're watching this right now, I want you to put a yes in the chat, man. If you agree that those four areas is really would really support you. So, Arleen, let's start unpacking the early childhood education piece. Um, I am particular in the city of Lauderhill. I've heard and I know from looking at the statistics that when a child is ready for kindergarten, they're more likely to do well on their third grade reading exam. And when they pass that third grade reading exam, they're more likely to graduate from high school.
Absolutely.
So that's correct, right?
That is correct. For the yes,
Okay.
it is.
So then to getting them ready for kindergarten means having them in the right type of pre-K program, right? Getting them
That
ready
is
for.
correct as well. Yes.
So, what should we, as parents, well, not we, because I'm not necessarily a parent, but what should parents look for when they're choosing a organization to send their child to?
There's a couple of things that they can look for in childcare settings. One, you want to find a childcare setting that you as a parent feel very comfortable with. Sometimes parents tend to look at childcare facilities or family homes that are close to the home, but that does not necessarily mean that it's a high quality. You want to provide services and receive childcare services of people and individuals that understand the concept and the knowledge of how children need to learn and grow. And to be honest, early education starts way before preschool. It starts from even when the child is in the mother's womb. So when we have those children and you place them in high quality functioning childcare programs, what we do, we just build on the foundation. We give the children the foundation of social and emotional skills, of that intellectual cognitive skill set that they need to go back into the workforce. So technically, we in early education are the ones that are preparing those individuals for the workforce. So we influence actually the workforce all throughout the state.
Yeah, I get that, but if I'm trying to find a good early childhood location for my child, and we know that choosing a spot just based on what's convenient for you in terms of close to your house or close to your job may not be the best way to choose. Is there like a place that they can go? Like, what should they be looking for? Should they be looking for somebody that's licensed? Like, what are the three things that parents should be looking for?
So three things they can actually go and look at. They can go and look at the licensing and regulation body. Like for us in Miami-Dade County and a lot of counties all throughout the state of Florida, you have the DCF website. So you can actually plug in the name of the child care program, and it gives you a report as to what occurs annually into the program. Second, there is the Early Learning Coalition. If you contact them, they too would provide you with information on the programs that receive the subsidized care. And third of all, which is to me is the best way, is that if you look, you can actually contact the school and go and do an individual walkthrough and see if this is some place that you feel comfortable, if the environment and if the culture of the schools really align with what you are looking for. And then you can actually ask questions to satisfy your curiosity and your needs. Because, there's a goodness of fit when it comes to early education and parents and families.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So during Teachers Week or Teachers Month?
It's Teachers Week.
Teachers Week, yeah. So I went and visited maybe a handful of early childhood providers in the city of Lauderhill, and they were all fabulous, but there was a distinct difference in the culture and in the atmosphere of each daycare. So I could see where that would be really valuable to kind of visit a couple and see which one really aligns with how you are raising your child at home.
Absolutely. Because there's no one specific program will align for each parent, because we all have different backgrounds, we come from different cultures, we see our needs differ. Some parents might really engage in more of that cognitive educational academics. Some children might need more social and emotional. So it all comes back to the parents' choice and what you connect with and who you connect with.
Yeah,
Because we are all not made equal.
Yeah, I think that those advice is really, really, the 3 tips that you gave is really powerful, because if you start out by checking the licensing on DCF's website, and just to make sure that they're good. And then if you need financial support, you go to the Early Learning Coalition and sign up for subsidy if you need help with paying for childcare. And then now you have your final list of maybe your top 3. You know that you can pay for it. You know that they have their license. Now you go and you do your visits, and then you choose from there. That's a really clear, powerful way to make the choice. Thank you for that, Arleen. So I know that the early learning is one of the hats that you wear, and the conference is the other hat. Tell me, when is a conference and how can people register?
Okay, so the conference, I am so excited, is October 29th. They can go up on www.earlyeducationlink.org and click the link, and you can actually register for the conference from there. I've been actually sending out emails with some live links for persons who have attended the past conferences. This year, our conference team is creating generational wealth, and the speakers that are going to be speaking is phenomenal. They are phenomenal. We have a panelist as well. You two are going to be on the panel, and we're going to talk about, when we consider the panel, the panel discussion is going to take the frame of how does our community, or the things that occur in our community, affects or influence generational wealth. And I think that is going to be so powerful.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Because you know what? Economic mobility is essential. It's essential for you and your family. And it's also essential for our community, right? The more upwardly mobile you are economically and educationally, I think the better and the healthier you are as a family and as a community. Is that website correct? Earlyeducationlink.org?
Yes, it is.
All right. And when is the conference?
It is October 29, and it starts at 10 and it finishes at 4. I mean, for the past 4 years, we have done 2 years in a brick and mortar, 2 years online. And I can tell you, the 2 years that we have held the conference in a brick and mortar, it always go over. The conference goes over, especially when it comes to that panel discussion where we bring in all the speakers and all those special guests to really have that conversation and engage the audience. That takes, it's just so enlightening how, when we put women in one space, how we can actually communicate, engage, and learn from each other. Yes, it's very, very powerful. And it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, what is your occupation, we all could benefit from the 4 components that we're going to talk about, which is health and wellness, like I said, financial literacy, leadership, and most important, self-awareness. You have to know who self is. And if there's 2 things I would love the ladies and the attendees to leave after the conference with, it's understanding to plan with purpose and to lead from where you are.
Lead from where you are, girl. That's already a little bit of nugget. That's a powerful one right there. Lead from where you are. I love it. And you know what? I think leadership is leading yourself first, right?
Exactly. You can be a housewife. You're leading your family.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to be on a platform for thousands of persons or people to see you. But where you are, in the space that you are in, you can influence. You can positively influence others and make your mark. I think is that, Alexis? Make your mark. You can make a mark right where you're in.
Right where you are. I love it. I love it. I love it. So October 29th, they can get tickets at earlyeducationlink.org, which is scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And then it's going to be where did you say it was going to be at?
It's going to be at the 901 Northwest 183rd Street. And that's in Miami, Florida.
In Miami. Oh, okay. 183rd Street. That's Miami Gardens, right?
Miami Gardens, yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You know, I represent in my professional life, I represent Live Healthy Miami Gardens. So I'm in Miami Gardens
Yes. You know what? I
time.
know you're from Live Healthy Miami
Oh, that's
Garden
right.
because
That's
I've
right.
been there too. I'm a part of Live Healthy Miami
That's
Garden.
exactly where we connected first.
Yes.
Maybe a couple of years
Absolutely.
ago in that same orchard,
Yes.
right? Oh my
You see,
God.
and that's what I'm talking about, leading from where you are. The community, Miami Garden said, hey, we're going to do this health and wellness. We need our residents to be a part of it. And there I go. I live there. So why not?
Why not? Why
Why not?
not? I love it. So Arleen, our universe is really connected because you live in Miami Gardens and I work in Miami Gardens sometimes. They're my client. And then I live in Lauderhill and your business is registered in Lauderhill.
Right.
So
So, yes.
look at all the connections. I adore it. I adore it. So let me ask you this. When you speak to younger women who are looking to become a force to be reckoned with in their career, what advice and tips do you give them?
My advice, again, to give is this. What is your passion? What moves you? And once you understand your passion and you know what moves you, then you tailor make that into where you need to go, because it's really your passion is the driving force. And then once you understand your drive, know who self is and just lead in the space with the knowledge that you have. Don't think about, well, I don't know enough, so I'm going to start next year. And when next year comes, well, I still don't know enough, so let me start this process the following year. No, in this moment, in your space right now, whatever you are, wherever you are, take the information you have and start walking in your purpose. And that is my advice.
Oh, I love it. Start walking in your purpose. Start today, not tomorrow, not next year, but right now with what you are. Start from where you are. I love
Absolutely.
it. I love it. Those are really, really, really powerful words of wisdom, Arleen. So, I a lot of times I think people look at women who are getting it done and kind of think about where without really truly understanding your journey, right? Like my grandmother used to say that you should never grudge people for what they have because you don't know what they've been through or what they had to do to get it.
Absolutely.
Could you share one of the challenges that you've had to overcome in your professional life and what lessons you learned from it?
Wow, this is a wild story. So, I started out as a manager, a lead manager for a company called Solar. They went out of business. And
Hmm.
someone said, hey, why don't you open your own family childcare? You're going to be an entrepreneur. You have your own business. You set your time scale. I'm like, that is crazy. Operating in childcare in your home with 6 kids, I could not see myself doing such a job. But
Hmm.
then 9/11 came, lost my job, lost run through my 401k and all my savings. And all I had was that 40 hours that I took training. And listen, I would tell anyone out of the craziness of the world and out of calamity, there is creativity. I got creative and I started my own family home. I remember the first meeting I attended on training for early education. I did not understand anything that they were talking about. And I said to myself, I would never understand this. I will not be successful. But when I think of my mortgage and my family and my daughter,
The realities.
the reality stuff. And listen, and I opened the business. No one was coming in. I pound the pavement. I cried in the night and pound the
Mhm.
pavement. I remember specifically going in the back of my yard and looking at my home, and I'm saying to myself, wow, You purchase your house at 30 years old, which was by itself a great achievement in that moment for me. And I had never enjoyed my home, and I would lose my home because I couldn't afford to pay my mortgage. And in that moment, I'm like, no way. I gotta work 120 hours. I gotta build some character in me that I never had before. And I went out passing those business cards and flyer with a passion. And that's when the kids start coming in. That's when I think I started to attract the parents into my home. I think it's like something in me shifted.
Yes, the power
There
of
was
a
a shift, and I'm like, I
Yes.
have to be successful.
Yes.
I refuse to beg anyone to assist me in my mortgage payment. I'm not receiving handout. I made a commitment to excel and just to go beyond self and to succeed. And thank God, in that moment and in that space, I started to get enrolled. Children started to enroll. And from not knowing anything absolutely about early education, I am here today.
Wow, what a powerful story. What a powerful story. So I heard you say a couple of key things that stuck out in my mind. Number one, you had to shift. It sounded like in the beginning you were telling yourself that you're never going to do this, you can't learn it, and that was the results that you were getting.
Yes.
And then you recognize that in order for you to get something different, you've got to be something different. So you shifted your outlook, and then you began to cultivate the qualities in yourself that would lead you to become successful. And then once you got those qualities and everything kind of fall into place, you naturally went out and did the work and you got the results.
Absolutely. You know, they always have this saying, you fake it till you make it. And I would say I started faking it till I made it. I took trainings. I started learning these early educational terminology like high quality, function, cognitive thinking, and start using those terminology in my conversation. You know, and I did my investigation. So it's not only about shifting in terms of, oh, I need, to earn income to save my home, but is impacting the community. Hence the reason now when I think and I speak and think in terms of community, because my home is just one house in a community, and I am not effective when I think about self. But when I think about community, that's when there's real impact. That's when real change can occur. That's why the alignment with self-minded individuals, with organization that thinks and does things according to what you think. So here comes the vision, your mission, and your core values align with other people's vision and mission and core value. That brings in the great alignment, and that's where communities are impacted.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. Thank you so much, Arleen. Thank you for sharing your wisdoms with us today. That story was amazing and very encouraging and enlightening too. So thank you for that. Remind folks about the event and where they can get their tickets.
Again, the Woman Empowering Women for Excellence Conference will be held October 29. We start 10 a.m. sharp to 4 p.m. and it's going to be in Miami Gardens at the 901 183rd building. If you need further information, you can contact me via that website. You can also call me at 305-793-4011. And we are also on Facebook at Arleen Lambert and on Instagram at Woman of Excellence.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your morning with me, Arleen. And I look forward to seeing you at the event on October 29th.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Dunn Wisdom Morning Show. This, again, has been your host, Melissa P. Dunn, CEO of MD Marketing Network, founder of this Dunn Wisdom movement. And I want to invite you to join me on September 29th for a free masterclass for those of you who are currently working a job and you're dreaming about starting a business. Join me on that masterclass to learn some tips that will help you successfully leap from corporate America into entrepreneurship. Again, the date is September 29th. Click on the link in the caption and I will see you there. And remember, ladies, breathe, just breathe, and be kind and loving to yourself because you absolutely deserve it. Be well.